Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your Midday News Fix for Tuesday the 19th of March. Fears the government's hard line on Kaianga Ora tenants will worsen housing insecurity and homelessness. It's directing the agency to take stronger measures against disruptive tenants and abolish rules protecting tenants from eviction. Youth development worker Aaron Hendry says he's concerned that people will be moved on with no plan for what's next. Hendry says this raises questions over whether housing is a basic human right that all people deserve.
If it is, then we should be viewing all policies and decisions we make through that lens.
The Prime Minister is confirming an invite to China this year. His Deputy and Foreign Minister Winston Peters let slip this morning Chris Luxon would visit China not long after Trade Minister Todd McClay's visit next month. Peters held talks with his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in Parliament yesterday. Luxon says he's been invited to make his own trip to China.
My travel schedule will be detailed later on, but suffice to say we want to see more engagement and meaningful engagement between the political leaders of both countries.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Christopher Luxon remains adamant there won't be any new taxes in May's budget. He says they're also determined to deliver tax relief to low and middle income working New Zealanders this year. The family of two New Zealanders arrested on holiday in Thailand only found out about their downfall on the news. Brothers Hamish and Oscar Day are accused of attacking an officer in Phuket after he pulled them over, saying they were speeding on their motorbikes. They face multiple charges. The Herald's David Fisher has spoken to their father, Lawrence Day, who says they've had limited contact.
The only communication that they have had since the incident took place was a short text message from Hamish Day, and he was able to get a text message out to his wife.
Kiwi fruit and onion growers are likely to see millions of extra dollars thanks to our European Free Trade Agreement close to becoming law and due to kick in from May. Frustration for agencies in Gaza with famine imminent in the next 2 months. Food shortages are most acute in northern Gaza and 23 children have died from malnutrition in recent weeks. UNICEF's James Elder is in Rafah. He told the BBC it's not too difficult to turn the tide. He says there are hundreds of trucks that could transport aid, doing it much more effectively than in ships and by air. Testing wastewater to monitor alcohol consumption for the first time has shown our alcohol consumption to be less than expected. Auckland University research has found people aged 15 years and over consumed an average of 1.2 standard drinks per day. Senior lecturer Dr. Lisa Pilkington says different patterns were identified throughout the COVID lockdowns.
We found that actually it wasn't the amount that we were drinking, it was how we were drinking. So normally you have high alcohol consumption in the weekend and lower in the weekdays. But what we did see during COVID lockdowns was actually sort of quite evenly spread throughout the week.
To sport, Crusaders prop Owen Franks has copped a 2-week ban for dangerous play in their Round 4 Super Rugby loss to the Hurricanes in Christchurch. The Mike Hesson coached Islamabad have chased 160 off the final ball to beat Multan by 2 wickets in the Pakistan Super League T20 cricket final in Karachi. Martin Guptill made 50 and Colin Munro 17, opening the batting for Islamabad. And All Whites Chris Wood, Tim Payne and Joe Bell have been ruled out of this month's football friendlies in Egypt with injury. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.